Well, I'm a big fan of the Massive Centrale. You can keep your Pyrenees, you can keep your Alps. This is where the action happens. Kind of racing that everybody fears, and it duly delivered. Just a fabulous race today, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, a bit unexpected, I think, in a way. I didn't expect EF to be so strong. I mean, I think every team dreams of being in the situation they were, where they put the rider they wanted in the break, which was Ben Healy, with two support riders. And those two support riders were truly exceptional. It was amazing, and I think the ride they did was I haven't seen in a long time, and hats off to them. And the race behind was a little bit strange because I think it revealed UAE's weaknesses. I mean, I think missing Almeida, obviously, but I think the fact that Sivakov is clearly unwell, and to be honest, Politz and Soler didn't look super either. So it's been a little bit revealing ahead of the big mountains.
Decathlon AG2R released Alex Baudin, and he was signed and snapped up. Probably, let's be honest, for not exactly star money by EF Education Easy Post, and they'd been looking at that and going, we let a really good rider go there.
Well, I think also Simon Yates, exactly the same. I mean, Baudin rode exceptionally well today, and it goes to show how sometimes when a rider switches team, it's the environment, the culture of the team. It's very specific to each type of rider's personality. It's not just about all the support they have in regards to performance. Sometimes it's a cultural thing, and Baudin seems to be just living his best life in EF because the ride he did today was truly exceptional.
Yeah, and it's extraordinary. Simon Yates, 6 months at his new team, Visma Lease Bike. Well, because Jaco Alula was kind of built around him in the latter years, wasn't it? And I think that weighed heavily on his shoulders. And now he's not the star rider. That's Jonas Vingegaard, quite clearly. Flourishing.
Oh, I mean, flourishing, yeah. He really is the best of his career, which is something kind of nobody expected. But again, it goes to show, put him in an environment, and perhaps you're right, when he doesn't have that out-and-out pressure of leadership, it allows him to shine.
What about Ben Healy's performance? I mean, I don't know what to say about it. He just didn't look round, he didn't flick the elbow, he understood what he had to do. But that's one thing, to actually do it. And all those other riders who were in that breakaway, he finished third on the stage. Yeah. That's what blows my mind.
I mean, especially I think it was pretty amazing that they just had that clear objective, yellow jersey. They didn't mess around, there were no games played. And when he did start riding, he rode as if he was off the front on his own and treated it as a solo breakaway, only with riders on his wheel that he just rode off one by one. It was just a stunning ride.
Are we going to see GC Healy?
I don't know, he's done a lot of these first 10 stages, and I think it's a lot to ask to think he can push that through. No doubt he'll try, but you've got to take into account when you look at what the big GC riders have been doing, they've been conserving a lot more energy than him.
Absolutely. All right, well, here's a man who's not been conserving that much energy because he's been out and about gathering opinion. It's Daniel Freep.
Stage 10, finally the rest day. Well earned for the riders in particular. Usually, of course, the rest day comes after 9 stages. Here we are on Mont d'Or, just done all of our interviews after the finish out here with our fishing net, trying to catch riders. Not easy today, they were speeding past. Tadej Pogacar didn't really speak to anyone. And it was an unusual day when we have to try to run after Pogacar after the finish line, because usually he's destined for the mixed zone, because that's where anyone who has a jersey goes, or anyone who's a stage winner, and that's where he usually is to do interviews after the finish line. Today, he lost the yellow jersey, and he no longer has any of the general classifications. Why was that? It's because Ben Healy has taken the yellow jersey. Incredible ride by him. Pulled for 40 kilometres to secure that yellow jersey. It was quite close in the end with the GC group coming back. Good day for Visma Lease Bike, very good day for Visma Lease Bike, because Simon Yates was the stage winner. He, like many others, got a sort of limousine ride from Ben Healy. Didn't have to do really too much work at all until the final climb, and then he was the best of the climbers left in that group with Healy, Ben O'Connor, Tymon Arensman, Simon Yates, and it was Yates who took the stage win. Generally speaking, what did we see from Visma Lease Bike today? Well, another attempt to make this an attritional Tour de France, make it hard for Tadej Pogacar. Pogacar man down with Almeida out of the race. Sivakov is ill. They were short on numbers on the final climbs today, but Pogacar, well, he seems pretty bulletproof. Didn't dislodge Vingegaard though, with a couple of attacks on the final climb. So UAE might be slightly edgy tonight.
Well, remarkable top 10, but really it's a remarkable top 3. Simon Yates, the winner, ahead of a very courageous performance from Tymon Arensman, who's a rider who has one good day and one less good day. He's a bit frustrating like that, but when he's as talented as you see on occasion, then potentially there's more to come from him But Ben Healy's third place ahead of all those riders who were trying to ride off his wheel to a stage victory, the two Australians, Ben O'Connor and Michael Storer, in some ways is just as impressive, if not more, than Simon Yates. And there's your top 10. All right then, let's hear from the stage winner, Simon Yates.
Simon, a long, tiring, brilliant Giro win, and now you're back in the race and a brilliant stage win. How's it feel to have your third Tour de France stage win?
Yeah, fantastic. It was not something that I really expected, to be honest, when I arrived here at the start of the race, because we're really here for Jonas and the GC. But the stage played out in a way that I could take my chance. So I took it in the end.
Yeah, just tell us about your changing role, your changing goals in that stage.
Yeah, I mean, we needed some guys in the front there just in case some action happened behind. But in the end, I think the gap was a bit too big, so we stayed away, and then I can go for the stage.
And you handled it pretty well on that final climb. O'Connor and Aronsman kind of came back to you, and you sort of let them, and then just exploded away.
Yeah, it sounds ridiculous, but actually I didn't really feel that good throughout the stage. And I knew, coming into the final corners, I knew them really well. I studied the book and had great information from our director behind, and I just tried to get a small gap, because then I could really just do my own thing. And they came back, but I think it really stung the legs. So I managed to take it in the end.
And Simon, just one last one. You've been congratulated by Victor Campenaerts, who's in the breakaway with you. But you've got a win for the team. Does that feed into Jonas's campaign, feed morale and conviction into the team for Jonas's campaign to win this Tour de France?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the mood and the atmosphere in the team is really good. Of course, we had a small setback with the TT, but that's cycling. I think you have to take it on the chin, and we move forward very quickly, and already taking the race on in an aggressive way. It's something that I also enjoy. So hopefully, we'll take the rest day now, but we'll hopefully continue with that idea.
Well done.
Thank you very much. All right, you've been out and about sharing your experiences, I know, throughout this Tour de France, but here's a little bit of a change. It's Chris and Mary who've been watching on from the comfort of their own couch, I think, or certainly at home back in the UK.
Gary, we love you and we're really going to miss you.
I absolutely loved the Tour de France. I love it particularly on ITV Sport because of the heart that the presenters have, and because the passion. Good luck for the future to everybody. Now, if you don't mind, I better get on with it. Bye.
All right, time to deal with your questions. It's Tom Layton who asks, how significant will the loss of Almeida be to Tadej's Tour campaign? I suppose the answer to that is normally very, 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 but he's Tadej Pogacar, and you wonder how much he needs a team.
Yeah, he's just got to mark Vingegaard, really. And Vingegaard has the strongest team in the race. So in a way, yes, it's inconvenient, but it's not affecting, I don't think, Tadej Pogacar's final race.
Because he just sits on Visma Lease, like uses them.
Well, he's just so much stronger than them.
That's the way it looks, we're just being honest.
Yeah.
Don't criticise us for being honest. Graham McCowan says, on a typical stage, how many zones are there for the riders to dispose of energy bars, wrappers and so on, and what kind of fines are they given if they fail to obey the rule? They do get a fine, don't they? They get docked some UCI points to get a financial penalty. I'm going to guess 3, 4?
3 or 4, that's what's going to be my guess as well. Yeah.
It's a guess though, I'm afraid, we don't know. And we're also sight reading these, so bear with us. Don't know if this has been answered, this comes from Velochef Matt yet, but why doesn't the Tour de France provide bidons to teams anymore as previously, e.g. Coca-Cola or even further back, Contrex? Presumably because all the teams have their own individual sponsors.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it got to the point where I suppose the teams felt that they required a revenue share if they were going to be carrying another sponsor's advertising effectively.
And they didn't want to do that. Joe Swed says, considering there is a young rider classification at the Tour, do you think there should be an older rider classification? Perhaps they could wear a grey jersey. We've kind of had this one in the past. It was Tadej Pogacar who forced this conversation on us, but we couldn't really work out what the cut-off point would be.
Yeah.
30?
Well, the kind of oldest rider in the race kind of gets a bit heroed anyway, like Geraint Thomas.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I don't know. We have discussed it on the podcast, but we didn't come to any conclusions.
No. Make up your own mind, but I quite like the idea. Lydia Swift says, how's the Schlugen going so far? Well, pretty good actually at the moment, because we're watching riders who've come through in the Gruppetto, just making their way to their team cars. There's all sorts going on here. I haven't spoken to any riders from the Tour de France yet.
No.
Have you?
No, I haven't.
Tested any directly?
Don't really see them, do we?
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Because we're delivering this, you see,
Yeah.
after the stage. Kovlam says, what is the shelf life of a support car? How many races or miles do they cover, and what happens to them once it has served its purpose?
That would be a Pete Kenya.
That's a Pete Kenya question. But
We don't
thankfully,
know.
he is joining us on tomorrow's rest day, and he'll be part of the coverage to the end from there on in. So let's ask Pete later on in the race. And by the way, we have another one of these programmes tomorrow on the rest day, so do tune in for that.